Not sure if anybody's in here. The easiest way for me to make announcements is live. So, hi guys, I'm Kristen. This is Lazy Sea Homestead, and this Oklahoma wind is killing me. I'm actually a little bit late getting outside to do my chores, but I had some important announcements today, so I was going to bring you guys along. The rabbits. One little pen of mini lops over there. Still nobody in here. And then I've still got these beautiful New Zealands, which we are going to process. And there's some water drinkers. Either that or I got a really leaky bottle. Probably have a leaky bottle. So, good morning, guys. And I have some announcements. Whoops. Hard to do one-handed. But if you want to come in and make yourself known, I might be cutting out just a smidge because I am in the barn. So. But like I said, I'm late doing chores, so let me fill this up with this. Hello, hello, hello. How are y'all doing? Sorry, I was filling up a water bottle. It takes two hands. I weaned rabbits yesterday. I did not even film it. Didn't even think to, but I weaned my New Zealands finally. And they're great. They don't even care that I took mom away. I took them away from mom. So they don't care a bit. They are doing great. How are you doing this morning, Lori? And Joy Bless Life. I can't remember what your name is. I'm terrible with names. Faces, great with faces. Terrible with names. Hopefully I'm not the only one out there. But I was late doing chores. I was trying to get some stuff done. And I thought I would just go live to make some announcements instead of trying to film a video because I've got a bunch of stuff to do today. They're Joy. Okay. I didn't know if it was Joy or if it was something different. I don't know who I was thinking about. So, hi, Joy. I'll remember that now because I asked. So, I know, honey, you're thirsty. I have one water bottle that leaks really bad. Hopefully, y'all can see me good in here. But I shouldn't be in here but just a few minutes. Long enough to water and feed everybody, and then I'll go feed chickens. How are y'all doing this morning? It's a windy, chilly morning. It really is. I only got one viewer. Who do I got in here, guys? Nobody's talking now. So I do, like I said, I do have some announcements. I was going to wait a few minutes to see if anybody else got in here before I started making announcements. There's a few things going on, and so that's why I decided to go live instead of trying to edit a video. I have an event, and I have to make a bunch of stuff for my event, as well as I've got some other stuff going on this week, which kind of makes it hard to do a lot of the things that I do. Not this stuff, but where I make things. Yes, I like the ones with the plastic bottoms, but these ones, because I prefer I prefer the wire cages because then it's a little less maintenance, I guess, on my end, because all of the compost, I can show you, all of the poop falls to the bottom. And so then I turn this every so often and it composts. And then it's at the stage right now where I can take it and put it directly into the garden. The hay isn't going to affect anything. The poop is cold manure, so I can add it to the garden straight. It doesn't matter. But I like having it open on the bottom like it is, because then everything falls down. I don't have to worry about anybody getting any urine scald, which is big with the bucks, especially because they pee a lot. I actually got peed on by one yesterday for the first time, and it's not pleasant. It stinks really bad. I don't have to separate the pee from the poop. The urine actually doesn't do too bad. I don't separate anything. I could sit here and sift out all of the manure, but I'm not going to. The hay underneath has broken down enough. Like this right here is 4 months of manure that's under here. So I don't, it's not a big deal, really. The urine doesn't bother it. It just smells bad. And actually, I think the ammonia is kind of activating. It helps a lot. What are you doing? She's making noise, that one. She flies out. It doesn't matter if I try to keep them in or not. She always flies out. But the urine doesn't bother anything, really. I spend, I don't know, not a heck of a lot of time in the barn to have to clean it out, because it all goes to the bottom. I rake it up. There's actually gravel underneath. I don't know if anybody remembers that. But see, here's a good example. This right here, all of the manure is broken down. The bottoms of my cages are dirty, but all of this manure is broken down to make it a little finer. So I mean, see, this is why, which this cage is outside, but eventually it will be inside my chicken pen. So whenever they poop, it goes to the chickens. The chickens love it. So the rest of my rabbits are in a barn, and I don't have to really worry about them too much because I shut this door, and my toddler can't get in there either. The only thing I have to worry about is that. It's my feed barrel, which eventually I should have everything set up inside here. I just don't have room for the big cage. And I mean, me and my husband actually talked about that yesterday whenever I was weaning these guys, these ones. I've had this cage for ever. It was my grandpa gave it to me. He used to raise commercial meat rabbits, and I've never had a dog get in it. I did have a dog hang off the bottom of it trying to get quail once, but those dogs got taken care of. I don't put up with strays very well. I have too much time and energy invested to worry about, to have to deal with somebody else's problem. Bunny's the only one. This is Bunny. He's my buck. He is the that crock in there, and it won't tip over. And his hay, actually, I set it on the. Let's see. Barn. Okay. Let's see. Sorry. Internet's not the greatest out here. Let me finish feeding these rabbits real fast, and then I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have a tragedy. One of my little bunnies got pulled out. They're a week old today, and it's in the crossbred, my Californian cage. So, and I think he's too cold for me to bring him back. I'm trying, but it is what it is. I guess I should have come out earlier, but she also feeds them at night, so it could have been. She feeds them after I do my evening check, which is about 9:30. Someone abandoned a pregnant dog and her mate. She rolled in the snow. The dogs were starving. Who let the dogs? Yeah. I can't. I used to work for a vet's clinic, and I can't rehome every dog. I'm well aware of that. I have rehomed so many dogs, and I have called owners on so many dogs. It's not even funny now, and it wasn't funny before. But what I take care, if the dogs, I have a neighbor who doesn't feed their dogs, and I've called. I live way out in the country. There's nothing I can do about it. But I have called them. I've talked to them. I've taken their dogs home many a time. They decimated my entire chicken flock twice. Killed every single bird I had. And at that point, it is the dog's fault also if they keep coming back. I have shot warning shots. I bought 22 makes this, in 22 caliber, there's this stuff that's like rat shot. It's little BBs. And it doesn't hurt them. It scares them more than anything else. Or shooting them with a BB gun. But I know that's, a lot of people disagree with that. But if I have stray dogs coming to my house, I mean, I have goats, I have cows. If I catch a dog that's not mine chasing my cows, it's not going to live a whole lot longer. That's just how it is. I can't afford to replace my animal, and I know the owner can't afford to replace that animal if their dog's just running loose like that. So if my dog, I mean, it's the same goes. All of my neighbors have, we have an agreement for the most part that if something happens, if my dog is at their place doing something, and here's a case in point. I will explain this one. We had a dog named Sue. She was Catahoula Blackmouth Cur, greatest dog ever. She loved our kids. She was super, super protective. You couldn't raise your voice around her. She would get between you and the children. She went to the neighbor's house. She killed a cat. Okay, that's one cat. I don't know if she caught the cat like out on the fence or something. All right. She killed another cat. Went down there and killed another cat. We put our dog down. That's how it is. One morning. Nobody can afford that. Nobody can afford anything more than what they got going on most of the time, especially not in this economy, not right now. And if my dogs, I have 2 very expensive border collies. If my dog is over there doing something they're not supposed to, they're going to get shot. It's just how it is out here. I know a lot of people don't like that. Sorry. Today was not supposed to be that kind of day. And then I found a poor little bunny that I'm rubbing, but I'm not bringing him back. He's too cold. I think he's gone. So that's all right. It happens. I'll bury him later. But it's my Californian doe, and she's just not a great mom, I guess. So yeah, everybody has an instinct to survive. And I don't mean to make anybody mad or anything like that. I just know from my standpoint, like, this is Bunny, quit. This is what it looks like from my standpoint. So I can't afford to feed anybody else's dogs, especially not my $50 a piece registered mini lop rabbits, or, I mean, who can afford hens, full grown hens anymore? So yeah, they're not domesticated enough to do what they need to survive to eat, but at the same time, somebody else has put them in that situation. I totally understand that. All that I'm saying is, if I can't, feral dogs are an issue out here. People dumping them, and you can't, if they're aggressive, you can't rehome them. So it's kinder. Oh, you're fine, Lori. You're fine. It's kinder, in my opinion, to end their suffering, their misery, not getting enough to eat, than it is to let it go on or to try and give them to somebody. I have rescued tons of dogs. That's not an issue. I have rescued a bunch of dogs, and I would still rescue dogs. But at the same time, if they're threatening my livelihood, I can't have that here. This is my job. I don't have a regular 9-to-5 job. This is my job. I make money, very little money, but I make money off of my adventures here. And hopefully I'll see some profit in it, but it's not necessarily about the profit. I have pedigreed mini lop rabbits. They're worth quite a bit of money. And I paid quite a bit of money to be sure I got good quality rabbits so that I could resell them as show animals. The New Zealand, the meat rabbits, that's what we bought them for, was for meat. So the mini lops should pay for the New Zealands. But rabbit feed's $17 a bag. So I've put a bag, at least, I've probably put 10 bags of feed into these guys to get my first 2 viable litters that I just weaned. It's $170, not to mention the purchase price. I lost viewers. It's okay. So, my announcements, I will say them. I'll start my announcements at 20 minutes, which we're at 18 minutes right now. And like I said, I apologize for offending anyone. I got to go get my feed. But it is what it is. Somebody put that dog into a bad position. They obviously didn't value its life. And honestly, I respect that dog enough to end Yes, I have honestly, I've tried. I've placed so many dogs. It's not even funny. I can't do it. I can't do all of them. Yeah, it is the owner's fault. Every dog that has showed up on my property and killed something is because it was a dog that got dumped out here. Let me set this down real fast. I'll be right back. Every dog I've had to put down out here was a dog that was dumped, essentially. They've been here for, the ones I can't catch, I can't do anything for them. The only thing I can do is end their suffering. I know it's not It doesn't sound nice, but it is the kindest thing to do. And it also helps control a little bit of that overpopulation of animals. I mean, I do have registered border collies. I have raised registered border collies, but I haven't raised a litter in almost 2 years now. And a lot of that's the recession that we're in. Let me see this. I have been buying my feed at Beeline, but I just ran out. So yesterday. And I would much rather buy my feed at Beeline because I think my animals do a lot better on it. But this will get me through until I can get there. And actually, talking about Beeline, that's part of my announcement. On Saturday, April the 2nd, I am going to be at Beeline Feed and Supply. It's on Highway 75 and Hectorville Road in Mounts, Oklahoma. It's owned by Chrissy and Jeremy Schulen of Paragon Ridge Ranch. And they're doing a little livestock swap and things. But it's not just livestock swap. There's going to be some crafts there. I will have my shopping totes and my purses there. Get back, guys. And as well as some rabbits, my mini lops especially. Maybe I have 3 baby geese, and I think I might go ahead and part with them. Hi, Bruce. Anyways, so if y'all happen to be in the Mounds area on Saturday morning from 8 till noon, I believe, I'll probably be there about 7 in the morning. To be honest, it's an hour drive. Sorry if the wind is killing it. That's you being very responsible. That is exactly what you should do with the dog. That you're well aware of the type of dog she is and what she does. See, come over here. Come here, girls. These, I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you got your dogs in a pen. These are working dogs. They're border collies. They work livestock. I own livestock for them to work. But it's not about that. It's the fact that if they went somewhere, they would probably get shot because that's what their job is. They want to work livestock. The bulldog that is, his name is Bandit. And he is a turd for one. I gotta get in here and water these chickens. These are my, actually I'll have some hatching eggs from these guys Saturday also. These are my blue and green Americana chickens. They don't get to get out on grass a whole lot because I don't want them bred by other stuff. But one day it won't hurt them, especially considering I gotta water them. Come on, guys. Yes, so you're aware of what she does, and that makes a huge difference when it comes to how you react. The people who live at the end of my road, they don't care. They don't care. They don't. If they cared, their dogs would get fed. And instead, I used to have automatic feeders for the hunting dogs because my husband and my son have hunting dogs. We have beagles and we have cur dogs for, they hog hunt and they rabbit hunt. So those dogs have to stay tied up. It's the type of dog they are. They're not house dogs. They're not pets. Just like my border collies, they're not pets. They are a specifically bred animal. He is a specifically bred animal, but he's a marshmallow. Where's your mama? This is sis. Actually, I've sold dogs, sold border collies. I've only had 2 litters ever. And I've sold them to all different walks of life, I guess, really. They're wonderful dogs. I have a couple that went to be service animals. Most of them actually went to be working dogs. So they're great. I really love these dogs. It's no different than, I guess, raising chickens. You still have to be aware of your market. All right, guys, I want y'all to get on the bucket. She's growling at me. This one is not a Banny chicken, by the way. She's actually a chocolate Workington, or was supposed to be a chocolate Workington. She came with the Silkies, so from a friend of mine, she got in this one. These are Cochins, purebred English style Cochins. I hope to have hatching eggs out of them soon. But I didn't have anywhere to put the Silkies. They have to go in a cage. Oh. Man, look at Bruce and his chicken math. You only had 1, so you had to buy 5. If I knew how to, I have tried to ship eggs to people and had very poor results with that. I gotta water those chickens. Let me do it before I forget. Hello, shouting at the clouds. I feel like doing that today, but there's no clouds. Can I just shout at the wind instead? Matt, I had to go back to see. I was feeding the chickens, and let's just say I get sidetracked. Matt is actually at work today, so. But I can show you what he's been up to. You want to see that, and that's what I planned on doing. Here. Hello, Jan. How are you? Didn't see you come in either. Hi, Odie. If you don't talk to dogs in a baby voice, then you're not my kind of person. So, let me sit this down. I had a few announcements, and I'll go over them again. Bruce, I'm going to start calling you Brian, okay? Yes, Border Collies are a herding type, whereas Great Pyrenees are a protection type of dog. He said, hi, Jan. These 3 dogs that I have here, they're on a chain, yes, but they are hunting dogs. And they will literally hunt until their feet bleed. So they have to, this is off. They know this is off. As soon as they get a leash put on them in the field, they know that is off. Off switch. That's just how they are. Oh, this wind. I do too. I think it's funny. Okay, so I haven't done a video about it. I'm really. How did you get out? My gander is out. The goat. How you got out? My phone's dying. We'll go in the house here in just a minute. So Matt went to Stillwell, Oklahoma. Sorry about the wind. Matt went to Stillwell, and he bought a 12-ton grain bin. I can buy a year's worth of grain for all of the animals, which would be, or most animals. The horses, cows, goats, and pigs can all eat this grain. We have a mix that we buy in bulk, and I can actually get it a little bit cheaper if I buy it several tons at a time versus 1 ton at a time, like I have been. Oh, the wind. Okay. I shouldn't have been in there, I guess. So y'all can see it better from over here. So yeah, that's what Matt's been doing. I was going to show y'all the bottom, but it's hard to see it. The shadow on it. I'll have a video about it. So Matt's been working on that for a few days. Oh, thank you. We worked very hard. Like my yard itself is just about, it's like 1.5 acres. And then I have it's a little over 2, probably close to 2.5 acre pasture here, right behind the house for the goats. This pasture over here is closer to 4 acres, and we've got the cows in it for now. And then we have 30 some odd more acres out there. Whenever I get to working on my fence, she likes me. She's one of my home-raised girls there. Hi, baby. Excuse me. Let me think. When we get to be able to work on that fence, my cows are going to get turned out. Hopefully after everyone calves. But you never know. You never know. We only have 1 calf right now. We have the 2 tiny cows that we bought in Missouri. They should calve just any time. And then my other girls, they'll just be various times because I don't know when they all came in season. So, yes, that's the other thing. Rodents can't get into that thing. Now, you can get weevils, which is not ideal, but it's not terrible, I guess. Here, girls, eat the crumbs out of that bowl, or that bucket. There, in the house. I'm cold. This wind is awful. So, back. We'll get the house first. Sorry. I'll get back to my announcements. Hello, Heather. How are you doing? My phone's dying, so I gotta come up in the house. And I wear house shoes in the house 24/7, so y'all don't make fun of me. Okay, so we'll just come in here. Now I got a phone charger right here. Okay. So, there we go. Okay. This wind, it's supposed to be almost 80 degrees today, but the wind is what's killing me right now. I did plan, and obviously it wasn't going to work. I did plan on starting my tomatoes while on this live. So I've waited because the last 2 years we've had really late frosts. But, you know, I bet the Smokies are pretty right now. Everything's starting to turn green. I've never been to the Smoky Mountains. I've been to the Rocky Mountains and drove all through the Rocky Mountains, but never been to the Smokies. And if gas prices go down, we might have to make that little trip. This turd. So, just to reiterate on my announcements I had. Yes. Those, I have been to North Texas. I've been to West Texas. Y'all have less trees than we do. Y'all get a lot of wind. We sit in pretty much the highest spot within several miles, actually. And everywhere you go from where we live at is it's either very downhill or slightly downhill. If you go south, it just rolls down. If you go north, it goes down suddenly. But I don't know if that probably does play a big role. Plus, 3 sides of us, there isn't trees. It's just on the east side that there's trees. It's spring wind. I know that's what it is, but still, hang on. It makes me cough. I don't know what it has in it. More trees in the hills of Arizona. I've never been that way. The only place west I've been is we lived in Colorado, in eastern Colorado, which is the plains. And eastern Colorado isn't very far from the mountains anyway. Northeastern Colorado, like in the Pawnee Buttes area. And we were an hour from the mountains. And then I've been to Wyoming and Montana. And Wyoming is, depending on where you go, is very, very flat. But in the north part of it, it has got a lot of pine trees. Maybe it's that. Every time I come in the house after being outside, I start coughing. My house isn't particularly dirty. It's not, it's cluttered, but it's not particularly dirty. But maybe it is the dust. I bet it is. I know usually this time of the year they'll tell you, oh, well, sub-Sahara this, dirt, things like that that's been in the atmosphere is getting pulled down here. But, yeah. So what is everyone doing for spring? Like, do you got plans? I do have a video coming out tomorrow that I hope everyone wants to be a part of because it's a contest. And I live in Colorado. It's beautiful, but it's full of communist tyrannical authority. Yes, it is. I will agree with that 100%. We lived in Kingsburg. The closest big town to us was, I think it was kind of equidistant from Brighton and Greeley. Those were the two big towns. We weren't far from Denver. I hated going to Denver, but we weren't too far from it. And they had, let's just say it wasn't where we wanted to educate our children. So we moved back to Oklahoma when Wyatt was about to start school. You should do a container garden. I love probably my favorite part of my garden is the containers. I have those molasses tubs. They're huge. And they hold a lot of dirt, but I have them set up like Daniel Arms does. Like how he does his in his high tunnel. And so they hold a lot of water, so it's less watering for me. And they stay pretty well watered all the time. And I can look, I've got a piece of PVC pipe about yay big, and I can look down in it and see if there's water to see if I need to water them or not. But anyway, my other announcement, other than on the 2nd, which is this Saturday, I'm going to be at Beeline Feed and Supply selling my wares, maybe some chickens and rabbits, maybe some geese, who knows. But I will be tomorrow. There will be a video coming out, and it is a contest video. I went to the Okie Homestead Expo. I didn't intend on going, but a last minute decision like Friday, I was like, well, I might as well just go for in the morning. Matt needed me in the afternoon, so I went. Me and Haston, I took my little one. We went, and I met Clyde, the creator of Clyde's Garden Planner. Let me grab it. I'll show you. I have right here Clyde's Garden Planner. He gave me 2 of these to do a contest with. So what it is a slide chart, and you'll see in my video that tells you here's what varieties you have, and you'll slide the red line to your last frost date, which mine is about mid-April. And so it'll tell you your if you go on this side, this will tell you when you can harvest. On this side, SI stands for start indoors, FP is first outdoor planting, and then you'll have your when you should expect harvest. At the very end of this right here, you can see this is companion plants. It tells you approximate how much you should get from each let me see. Approximate produce yield in pounds per 10-foot row, 12 inches wide. Couldn't remember. And then on the other end, it'll tell you like what they like, full sun, how far apart to space them, distance between rows, and how many you can plant per 10-foot row. This one's actually updated from the one that I actually owned before. So then on the other side, you have fall, and it tells you the same thing on fall, from all the little numerical things, and then how long you can harvest, when's the last time you can plant, as well as companion plants for those plants. And it has a little different, see, if my last frost average in fall is about the beginning of October, middle of October, I could still start tomato seeds at the end of May and still have a productive harvest. I don't think I will. But yeah, Clyde is awesome. He filmed, it also comes with this, which is instructions. He also has a 4-minute video online on how to work it. And this is the entire United States selected national average frost dates by state and city. So I'm in Oklahoma, and the closest big town on here would be Tulsa. So it says average last frost is 1st of April, and the average first fall frost is November 5th. Anybody else want to know what town are y'all in, or what's the closest big town? So if I did Oklahoma City, it's actually the 20th of April and the 30th of October. And I think we're on the same geographical line as Oklahoma City, so that's probably why my dates would be closer to that than to Tulsa. Frost dates vary within each region depending on the local terrain and the presence of water. Frost dates prior to February 8th and later than December 13th are outside the range of this slide. Special frost precautions required in regions with less than 100 days between average first and last frost dates. Has all kinds. Knoxville, Tennessee. So let me see. April 10th is your last average frost date, and October 20th is your first. And that's just an average. He's prepared all of this. This takes all the guesswork out. You don't have to search things. As long as you know where you live, you're usually pretty good. And I love it. So along with the garden planners, I'll have 2 prizes. We are reading about Clyde's garden planner. I actually gave one. He gave me, I bought some more off of him so I could do a giveaway. He gave me a couple. I gave one to Lori at LG Homestead, and I gave one to Cassie at Walker Farm Fam. And so then he said, well, why don't you get a couple more? And I said, well, I'll buy these ones. So I bought 2 more to do a giveaway. Pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. So if I pick April 19th as my last frost date, which I'm about there. Yeah, I gave you one, Goose. You silly lady. You better be glad you're one of my favorite people. No, I'm just kidding. Forgetting I gave you something. I don't get to see Lori that often. We actually don't live too terribly far apart, but I only ever see her at events because we're busy. So let's see. Heather said Syracuse, New York. And April 30th is your last frost date, and October 15th is your first fall frost date. So here's an example. I don't know of him, actually. An Okie Stoked Living. He was there. I did see somebody talking to him, and I heard his channel name. I don't talk to a whole heck of a lot of people. I am a YouTuber, and I am not the most outgoing person in person. I'm getting better, though. Oh, okay. So here's an example of a state. We'll pick okay, New York isn't a great big state. So Albany, New York has their last average frost date is May 5th. And their first fall frost date on average is the 30th of September. So then you go to like Syracuse, it's April 30th as the last spring frost date, or in the 15th of October for the first fall frost date. It's a huge, it's just a huge difference between areas. I lived in Colorado. I guess the closest town would have been Denver, and that would be May 5th and October 10th. But then places in the mountains, especially like Durango, June 5th. Could you imagine not getting to put a garden in the ground until June 5th? You'd have to have a greenhouse to live there. And September 20th. Yeah. I don't plant usually until the end of April, the beginning of May anyway, because just to be on the safe side. If we look at this handy little slide chart, I go down here to tomatoes and peppers, which is on the bottom, and you look, and it'll tell you your first frost date, or your first outdoor planting date. I'm trying to get it around the thing. Is not until May anyway, toward the end of May. So, okra, I wouldn't start okra indoors, I don't think. And pumpkins, you want to aim at pumpkins for, how are you doing today? No, long time no see. I'm talking about a giveaway. And so I'll explain it more in the video for tomorrow. I think I did. I'll have to watch my video. I've had it uploaded for a week now, but I was having issues getting I was having problems with my thumbnail. So I hadn't posted it. Now, I know Rambling with the Bruins, they're in Canada. So their frost dates are way off of our frost dates. This might still be something that would benefit you, though. I don't sell anything at farmers markets. I don't have the square footage in the garden to grow for farmers markets. Most everything I grow is what we use. May, the third week of May. See, almost into summer here. The third week of May here, we're hitting 80 degrees every day. The price of I don't know. I haven't even grown potatoes here, but everything is going up. So I expect farmers markets to be going up as well. And a lot of times, like around here at farmers markets, I can get things that I wouldn't be able to get in stores, and usually a lot cheaper. But, you know, it just depends, really. I don't hardly buy produce. I buy apples, oranges, and bananas in the store, and grapes, which the last time I bought grapes, I bought some Friday, and they were terrible. Grapes should have like a crisp crunch almost, not like crunching on a chip, but like a firmness. And these ones, it's like the same all the way through. There's something wrong with them. They were probably frozen too long. Or they were frozen. I actually have a bunch of grapes in the freezer too. I need to make jam out of. But this contest, I'm really excited about it. I do it on my computer, but I was having issues with getting it. Once I'd get it up to YouTube, it would say the file wasn't the right. It has to be like PNG or JPEG, and it would say it wasn't that, even though it was that. So I'm still having problems with it. Hopefully I can get it done today. Yes, you have to do yours inside. I really don't. I like to direct sew as much as possible, which is usually try to do squash. The last couple of years I haven't, but I try to do squash. And I try to do okra for sure and carrots. I don't lay black plastic down. I already have a problem with ants because of where we live. There's a lot of clay and sandstone, and ants are everywhere. They wouldn't allow you. See, it's just weird stuff. This is the first video I've had any problems with, and it's not letting me upload my thumbnail. It would load it, so it'd be in the little preview screen on YouTube Studio on my computer, but then it would say, nope, not doing it. It was the wrong file. I don't, back to the previous, I don't lay down black plastic. I have black plastic under the gravel that's between my beds in the garden. I'm not a big fan of it, but a lot of people like it for the weed suppression, but because I have an issue with ants, I don't use it. I just mulch heavily, and because I have poured an entire box of grits in an anthill, and they just ate it. I have poured tubes upon tubes of cinnamon. They stay there. They don't leave. I have tried a scoop of ants from this hill and a scoop of ants from this hill and swapping them. Didn't work. I don't know. I'm going to have to do drastic things, which I don't like to. I try not to use any kind of chemicals on there in my garden, but I'm liable to. Ants are killing me right now. Anyway, y'all should see this week, the contest, and I hope y'all all join in. I may just have to, I think I'm going to take the whole thing down off of YouTube Studio and re-upload it, see if that helps. It might help. It might just be whatever time it decided to upload. And it took me 3 shots to upload it, so I was planning on it being out. A Dawn soap ring around the anthill. I'll try it. They've killed my beautiful red roses that I had. They ate my purslane I had in a container. Ants are just awful. And I think adding the gravel to my garden has exacerbated my issue, because now they have that black plastic to travel under and it stays damp. I just don't like ants. But it's okay. They got in some of my potted dirt, or my bag dirt that I'd bought. You have a good day. We'll see y'all later. Jan. We won't be on here a lot longer. But you guys got the heads up for Clyde's Garden Planner giveaway. I'll have a few more things. I'll have a few more things to go with these. One prize, the grand prize, will be a little bit bigger. I just got to see how much it's going to cost to ship. If you cover with the tote, you can. Oh, I'm not worried about that. My garden's fenced, so the animals are fine. I just don't like the ants. Yeah, I did have a drainage problem. Turns out it was a leaking pipe. I thought, goodness, my garden is holding so much water. No, it wasn't that. We had a leak. They whacked me on my last video about where your food comes from, and they said do it. Due to guidelines, they have to protect 18 and under from my content, and since I've ran into issues, I refuse. I haven't had them give me any notices. I think it was just timing on my video, and there's nothing in it. Like I don't usually have any bad words in my videos. I don't know if that makes a difference. And generally my videos are, just this stuff. Who knows? I have no idea what he's watching. I put on a kid's show for him. I have stone. I have plenty of gravel, small chip gravel. I think what I'm going to do, and I hate doing it, but I think I'm going to take 7 dust granules and I'm just going to sprinkle them on the walkways, not in the garden beds. And I think that should help a lot of my issue, because when that soaks down through there, it probably will kill them. Yes, it does. I do know I'm not monetized and I have a restricted video because I'm processing chickens. You don't see the chickens until they're already dispatched. So there's, none of the blood. Nobody sees the blood. Who are you? I'll put you in timeout. Thank you. My chickens aren't very effective. They would rather eat my plants than my insects. I guess it's kind of funny. I think, and this is totally the anti-leftist in me, which I don't lean either direction. I'm not a particularly political person unless my freedoms are being infringed on. And I think that as a whole, the world that we're in right now, this government does not want you to know where your food comes from. And so they don't want you to have that small amount of freedom to put a seed in the ground and reproduce what you have. Yes. They even ate my onion tops the other day when I left the gate open. So chickens are not in the garden. But I think that they are trying to limit what we see and what we hear so that we're more dependent on them. And that's my firm belief on that. There's not anybody that's going to sway me. I have harvested my own meat all of my life. I grow a garden. I teach my kids all this. And the fact that the government doesn't want you to know you can put a seed into the dirt and grow something and feed this animal and then eat said animal. Yeah. I have 2 restricted videos. One of them is where we process pigs. Yes, both parties are a part of it. I don't lean either direction, to be honest. I go for policy, not for party. Yeah, see, they hit me with the guideline issue on the pigs. The pig, and I put a big, the whole thumbnail is a warning. Oh, so I need to get on. Lori, I need to give you my phone number so you can text me things. I'll get on there and look. I believe that. I'm part of a group that they send me climate surveys for my area. I got in this group years and years ago, and so every quarter they send me a survey to talk about if I think how my climate feels to me. And so that it's been 6 years. I've been in this group for 6 years. And my climate, I have made notes small, like just whenever I think about it, I have a notebook. I write notes on climate issues, rain. I think our seasons shift a little bit, but our climate hasn't changed. Yes, I do think that carbon monoxide causes a lot of issues, but I don't think that getting rid of dairy farms is going to do anything for our climate. And that's what a lot of those people are wanting to do. Like, free the cows. Trust me, those cows like where they're at, or they wouldn't still be there.
Hey, Mom, where's that basket go?
Oh, well, I got to have scissors, so you got to wait. Take it back in there, and I'll get it for you in a minute. Artificially raises gas prices. I believe it. Our gas is $3.69 a gallon here, where I live at. I also live where there's a lot of oil wells and refineries. It is Oklahoma. And Haston is showing you the popsicle. Oh, no. I was meaning more of you. You could have, that way you could text me when you do new things, because I forget. I forget everything. It's fine. You are totally fine to promote on here. I am a safe space. Yeah, he's got a baby cow named Splashy, he said. Everyone is totally fine to promote yourself on here if you want to. That's fine. I'm a safe space. If ever I get to the point that it's too much, I'll let you know. But LG Homestead, Lori and Greg are great friends of mine.
Tiger's laying on bed.
He's laying on the bed? Oh, he's behind me, isn't he?
Tiger!
Actually, our gas has went up over $1 a gallon since fall. But the closer to the coast and to oil country you are, the better your gas prices are going to be. Also, population density plays a huge role in that, because people want to make it a scarcity, so they raise the prices, saying there's not as much of it when there's a lot of people around. So that's probably why California is so high. Colorado's gas prices were astronomical when we lived there. We had a diesel truck. We had 2 diesel trucks. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I've got a bunch of stuff to get working on for this weekend. Like I said, I'll be at it's Highway 75 and I think at 221st Street, or it's called Hectorville Road, at Beeline Feed and Supply in Mounds, Oklahoma. If anybody's interested, they will open their gates at 8, and we'll be there till around noon, selling our wares and visiting with everybody. And I like to talk, so anytime y'all want to stop by, y'all just stop by. I'll email you, Lori. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for supporting my channel. And I sure hope you tune in for my contest. And I mean, I'm willing to mail it to Scott too. So if he wants Clyde's garden planter, it's made in the USA. And Clyde is a great person. So I'll see all you guys later. Bye.